So last Saturday while kayak fishing, I set up a camera at the end of my fishing line with about a foot of heavy-duty leader line, a dough ball that I'd normally use for carp, but with a catfish hook. And this was about to create some interesting circumstances. So it doesn't help when you forget your anchor line and you have to use this thick line, leader line, to tie your boat up to the dock instead of anchoring on the bottom. So this works out fine at the dock. It's later when I tie it to a branch that it's not as strong as you think it is. So the anchor's holding, and I noticed I got my first bite of the day. So first thing I have to do when I get a bite is make sure that the camera on my hat is turned on, because I want the front view primarily when I'm trying to bring in the fish. And I tried to set it without tightening the bail, so I had to retighten the bail, and then yes, something is on here. So up comes this little dinker of a channel catfish. Not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bigger boys, but at least it's a good sign that fish are biting. But what was to come is going to really blow your mind. Don't get me wrong, it's always encouraging and fun to catch fish. But since I had already forgotten my rod holders and my anchor, and I was having to improvise, this was going to cause problems. But there was yet another sign that more problems were to come when a minor problem happened after I was leaving this dock. Well, apparently I deleted that section of video. As I was leaving the dock, the rod got caught on the dock, just a very toppity tip. The hook managed to get on it, and it pulled off a carp setup that I had set up on the rod. Not a big deal, but just another sign, because the chances of it happening were so slim that something was going to be wrong. So here I am, I'm anchoring now to the branch, and I'm kind of at the edge of the corner of a cliff, and I'm getting myself set up to do some fishing. So the problem I'm going to have is going to stem from forgetting things, forgetting the anchor, which could have anchored me much more securely to the bottom, and my rod holders, which caused my fishing poles to be in a kind of disarray and give me problems when I got actually hooked up. So at this point, I was almost ready to leave, but I had just gotten something to pull this line, and this is the line that has my camera on it. So I said, you know what? I think I'm going to give it 10 more minutes, and instead I'm just going to cast it kind of behind me and to the left, and just give myself about 10 more minutes and see what happens. Here's the grumpy old fisherman. But suddenly something gets his attention. Picking up his fishing pole, he tightens the drag, and then realizes he has something enormous on the line and very powerful. So strong, in fact, that his makeshift anchor is not going to hold. The kayak is being pulled fast, as you can see by the weeds receding on the left side into the background. And before the poor guy has time to get the fish under control, it's already taken complete control and pulled him about 30 feet into the weeds, wrapped itself up, and now The battle is on to try to get that fish before it tangles up the line hopelessly in the weeds. Fighting furiously, like a modern-day Captain Ahab from Melville's Moby Dick, he searches and tries to find the very source of the snag. He moves his kayak. He shifts the rod on the other side. He finds the location of it and tries to put his paddle together to reach down and loosen the snag, but it's no use. The snag is at least 8 to 15 feet down, and he's unsure whether the fish, which seems to have gotten off the line now, but the line's all tangled down there, whether or not he has the section with the camera and is now off into Lake Travis, the 30 square miles of Lake Travis with the camera. But he hopes against hope that perhaps the camera is down there. So he keeps trying to locate it. He keeps looking in there, but it's very murky. It's an intolerable mystery. He must get that camera back. But at this point, it seems hopeless. This battle might be over, but not the war. He'll be back. He must get that camera and find out what did this.